Hello and welcome to another edition of the Commissioner's Report. Today we are in Polk County's History Center in Bartow with Commissioner Rick Wilson and City of Bartow Mayor Scott Sjoblom. Welcome to both of you. Now, Commissioner, why was it important to you to bring the show to Bartow?
Well, you know, been in office for 2 years, and most people know that we do these monthly. And we've talked about a lot of great things in Polk County, different subjects, drainage, anything people wanted to talk about. But I wanted to get to our municipalities, you know, and let them tell us what's going on in their area. So, you know, being I live in Bartow, this was the first one I picked. So, but that's why, and I want to showcase Bartow, but not only Bartow, I want to go around to the rest of the county and see all the other municipalities and let them showcase their great town.
That's terrific. Thank you so much. Can't wait.
Yep, I can't either.
Now, Mayor Sjoblom, the City of Bartow is about to go through a master planning process. What is that process?
Yes, ma'am. It's a great question because it's not a concept that a lot of people are familiar with. And in fact, as far as I know, this is the first time as a city we've ever undertaken anything like this. And really, on a 10,000 foot level, what we're trying to do is to identify several different themes where we want to see some specific action or change take place. So maybe it's economic development in our downtown core. Maybe it's a revitalization of our leisure services, or you know, our parks need maybe some attention. You know, thinking through in a systematic way how we want our city to grow and develop over the course of the next several years.
So what are some of the outcomes that you're hoping for?
Well, you know, I think we're early enough in the planning process of this that we're not entirely sure. And so that's part of the fun of kind of taking a collaborative approach like we've tried to do with this. You know, there are kind of two primary ways in which planning efforts get undertaken. You know, it can be left to your elected leaders, you know, a gathering of men and women who the city vote on and put on a board and in their infinite wisdom sit around and make choices. Or it can be left to just the economic development forces that exist in a community, and they will chase opportunity and your city will grow. But what we're really trying to do is adopt a third approach that is a marriage of the two, plus incorporates community input and community buy-in. And so we held our first of what we hope to be several virtual sessions. You know, we're in the realm of COVID, so we can't get everybody in a big room like we would have preferred, but we held a virtual online meeting led by our consultants, and we solicited that input from the public. In other words, what would you like to see the city really adapt and prioritize as we undertake this process?
It's funny because the three groups that you spoke of all would bring with them an agenda. And when you say that you're being open to which direction this goes, you're showing that through opening so wide for contributions and opinion.
Well, and Commissioner Wilson will tell you, we believe there's wisdom in many counselors. And sure, at times there are going to be some competing interests. But what our hope is that when we gather these different priorities at the table, and we're beginning to see this already, things are shaking out to really craft what we think is going to be not just an executable plan, but a priority in that plan and a funding strategy attached to it. Because all the plans in the world are great, but if there's not a way to pay for all of these great things, or at least a framework to pay for them, then that's just one more binder on the shelf gathering dust. So that's really the outcome that we're hoping to accomplish.
Now, Commissioner Wilson, there are certain segments of the county that have their master plans, like the transportation planning has one, Parks and Rec has one. Is it nice for you to see your municipalities doing the same sort of thing?
What I've seen is nothing but a plus. You know, it's a big plus for the county, which will also be a big plus for Bartow.
And it's interesting when you see what's happening with the population in Polk County. It's nice to see. I don't think anyone 20 years ago expected the projections that are coming 20 years from now. So it's nice to see everyone sort of looking forward.
That's another thing also. I mean, nobody knew what was coming. We heard, our population growth, but it's mind-boggling. And now what's been going on, more people are moving south. And, you got to get ahead of it. And this is the problem, I've always said it. You will never get ahead of it. You will always be behind on any of it. Transportation, whatever, you will always be behind because there's so much going on. And so you just got to keep thinking out of the box and trying to do the right thing and move forward.
Is that part of your focus?
Absolutely. The phrase that keeps coming back in my mind is Wayne Gretzky said, part of what made him successful was, I never skated to where the puck was, I skated to where the puck was gonna be. And planning is the same thing. It's what Commissioner Wilson just said, is as a city, we can't plan for what we have right now. We have to, break out the crystal ball and try to use our best guess to figure out what are going to be the needs 5, 10, 20 years down the road. And I would tell you, as a fairly recently elected leader, that's really probably the greatest challenge, is that we are applying plans and solutions now. We're making choices now, really, and won't know the relative success of those plans until 5 or 10 years down the road, because we're constantly trying to plan and pivot and anticipate what those needs are going to be in the future. And that's why I really think hiring the consultants that we have from GAI, speaking with business leaders, talking to the community leaders, engaging the average citizen, and putting all these people in the room really gives us the greatest opportunity for success.
And also, just like he said, 5, 10 years down the road, but what we try to do, and I'm sure they are too, it's always changing. You got to be open-minded. So you're having to work on that the whole time. So you hope you make the most perfect choice. Everything's perfect. We're not like that. We're human beings. So, we have to be changing and looking at it all the time.
Well, and as recent times have shown, there are wrenches that will be thrown into the process that no one was expecting. So if you wouldn't mind, could we talk a little bit about how COVID-19 has impacted business growth and development in Bartow?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 2020, the elephant in the room is the coronavirus and the global pandemic that we have all had to create plans for and try to create workarounds. And I would tell you, last year, if we were having this conversation, what I would have told you is that the city of Bartow is a rocket ship. I mean, it really is. There are a lot of factors that have come together to make this city a very exciting place to live in, to work in, to play in. And now as we've moved through this pandemic, I would still tell you the same thing. Because even with the challenges that all of us are facing, we're still seeing development particularly in our downtown district, which is frankly surprising. Now, I can't for a moment minimize the challenges that our businesses are facing. In fact, we had several come down to their commission meeting the other night to express, their concern and their need for the city to help. And as a body, we want to be responsive to that.
So it's not only about planning, it's about listening.
Oh yes, we do a lot of listening, but this year has made everything different. We're getting smarter. There's more information out there. Back in March, April, we didn't know what was going on. We were just, we had an idea. We knew that we were in a pandemic. We didn't know how bad it was going to get. We didn't know how, whatever. But as we've went along, things, we've learned, some by mistakes, some by, doing the right thing. But I think we're at the position now. Not saying we have a fix-all, but we kind of know how we have to live our lives and how we have to move on. And I think with some of the stuff that's coming out, it makes people feel a little bit better. We're doing what's right. We're taking care of the elderly. We're taking care of the people that have underlying problems. And, you know, we're doing what we have to. And, but we still have to survive. We have to move forward.
The downtown district in Bartow is fascinating. You know, we have over 100 events every year that take place in our downtown. And of course, when the pandemic hit, first thing that went were large group gatherings. And we had to protect the health and safety. And so much of our conversation right now is revolving around how can we bring these events back safely that are critical to our businesses. You know, there's no substitute for bringing 20,000 people between you know, Davidson and Summerlin, and you know, our retailers can really make or break their quarter simply with one event. And so we have to find ways to do this, but do it in a way that makes sense, do it in a way that protects the health and safety of our residents. And you know, I'm very pleased with the plan that Bartow has had in place so far. And now as we continue and we learn more, how do we bring these things back in a way that is beneficial for our retailers, beneficial for our residents, and I think we're moving forward on a plan that's going to be able to do that.
Well, as somebody who attends Sci-Fi Bartow, I can't wait for what it looks like, because I can't wait to come back. That is such a fun event.
Yeah, I'll be so glad, and I know we all will, you know, when we can get this behind us, if it ever is behind us, but, you know, kind of get back to, you know, where we were. Bartow is a great town. It's, you know, just like he said, there's numerous things that go on downtown, not just in downtown, all over Bartow. Yeah. And it's just, I know a lot of people are just kind of wanting to, you know, kind of get back somewhere where they were, and get this year behind us and keep going. And that's what I'm hoping for.
Well, Mayor Sjoblom, I can't thank you enough for sharing your excitement about the city of Bartow. And Commissioner Wilson, I can't wait to see where we go next.
That's exactly right. And I appreciate having you here today. Thank you
very much. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for joining us.
I'm so pleased today to be a part of the story of Bartow's downtown. The Polk County History Center, housed in the 1908 historic courthouse, anchors Bartow's historic district. As we anchor the historic district of Bartow inside the building, we tell the story not only of Bartow's history, but the history of the entire county. Today, I'm so pleased to be standing right in the middle of a new exhibit that is from the Smithsonian Institution. And it is an exhibit that's entitled One Voice, One Vote, Democracy in America. It is the story of our beginnings, the story of democracy, and this wonderful system of self-government in which we are privileged and proud to live. Soon coming to the Polk County History Center in mid-year next year will be a story about all the cities of Polk County. So we will be able to tell you the stories of the beginning, the founding, and the development of the 17 municipalities of the county, as well as unincorporated municipalities, and the stories of what we refer to as our heritage cities. So much more to come about appreciating the history of cities in Polk County.